young, I was told that there was a creek lined with gold, solid gold.
Hey everyone, welcome back for episode 8. We're still at the Gpaa claim and we're pushing out into the center of the creek. Bob is in the hole, finishing up his shift for the afternoon. Let's give you a quick tour of the hole and show you what Bob has been revealing here. You can see fractured bedrock. Here's a very good look at this bedrock, and this is quite decomposed on the top part of this bedrock. In this enhanced photo, the top 3 to 5 inches is that hardpan layer. Below that is the decomposing granite, and then we get to this fractured bedrock. Let's check in now with Moretta and see how she's doing with the river sluice. See Moretta's crutches off to her left.
After pulling a ligament in the back of my left knee, I was having still a little trouble getting around. My leg would just give out, but I was no longer on my crutches. First day in camp and you pull a ligament, I wasn't a happy camper. Bob threatened to send me back home, but I was determined to get better. I was not leaving Alaska. I kept up with prospecting around the area, seeing if we could find different places where maybe there was some gold left on the banks, off to the side, up in the wooded area. Did okay, saw some color in the sluice, but not like what they were doing with the dredge. But it kept me busy. It was a beautiful day, sun was out. It was amazing how just coming down 4 miles off that mountain made a big difference weather-wise. It was actually quite comfortable, warm. The water was a lot warmer. I enjoyed it very much. Funny story is I'm sitting in the creek, my back to the dredge. Bob made some changes to the back of the dredge, and before you know it, I was dumped into the river, undercut from the water, coming and supporting my chair. Water was warm, wasn't too bad. It was quite funny.
But man, does this nozzle make a difference. Well, we slowly but surely made our way out to the middle of the creek. Every day it's a little here, a little there, and that's all you can really do. I mean, for those of you that are watching this that are actual dredgers, you have to understand this is our first time ever underwater. So when you're all done, maybe snickering and laughing, I thought we did pretty good. Moved a lot of material, and it was fun. And you know what? After starting off panning, and then little this, little that, then just gold cubing, and then high banking, and I'm a dredger now. I will get better at it. We will get better at it. I doubt very seriously we'll go back to high banking unless it's the only thing necessary. We definitely won't go back to dry washing. Dredging seems to be the way to go. So as long as they allow us to dredge, I think that's going to be our new niche. There's just something really nice about being in the water, and there's something really nice about doing that. It's still a lot of work, don't get me wrong. You need to have somebody up on top making sure everything's still running, because the compressor quits, the motor quits. Now we're not deep enough where I'm worried about if I didn't get a breath of air, I could just stand up here. But when you're deep diving, you want to worry about running out of air. But we had fun doing it. I'm glad we did it, and we're going to do it again. We've done it again, as a matter of fact. That's another story. I believe we probably will go back to Alaska. For those of you who have been there, you know the draw that Alaska brings. It's just absolutely gorgeous up there. You're away from everybody and everything, and you can do this stuff up there. But you get down in the lower 48, you all know. It's a whole nother story down here. And it's just a much nicer place to go. It is a very long drive, don't get me wrong. It's a very expensive drive. We don't do this for making money. This is our hobby. This is what we love to do. This is what we enjoy to do during the summers. And I think as long as we're physically fit, we're going to continue to do this because it's just fun.
Met a lot of nice people.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, Ben, had we not met great people, but everywhere we went, All the people up there, they're all nice, they're all friendly. They're from all over. We've met people from Florida, friends from Arizona. We've met 2 people who come all the way from Florida up there every year. We heard earlier about Illinois. Bob comes from Illinois every year. It's a great place to go. I don't know that I'd want to try a different spot than this. I know the 40 Mile River is a good place to go. And I don't know that I will go to a camp. We do what we want to do when we want to do it.
First shift of the morning. Diligently working at this overburden, this loose gravel here, to get it down to that hard pan layer for Bob. I started to get a pretty good system down. What I would do is work on the base of the slope, and then I'd let the avalanche fall into the gap that I just did, and then work that down, and then I could pull those big rocks out very easily and manage the hose flow a lot better. Holding this intake nozzle all day is a little bit hard work, so what I found by cradling it under my arm, I just used mostly my upper arm to manipulate the nozzle around, and it was a lot easier doing that way. I'd switch arms occasionally just so my bicep wouldn't get too large on one arm.
As you can tell, when you're using a 5-inch dredge, it's a 2-man operation. You try to do that by yourself. We've watched guys use 4 inches by themselves, and they're up and in and out of the hole all the time. You know, you're not going to make a lot of progress. With 2 people, look at the amount of gravel that you shovel off of the end of that. Like I say, it's much nicer down there. The weather's better. I don't know if it's because of the valley or what it is, but it's just a whole nother world 5 miles farther down the creek towards the claim.
It's really clear.
Here is a very good view that you could see the different layers in our hole.
Hey, it's a heart shape. You see it?
The center darker area is where Bob takes it down through that hard pan layer, through the decomposing granite, and starts breaking up that fractured bedrock. And this upper lighter layer is where I take the overburden down to the hard pan layer. It took me about 2.5 hours to clear this much overburden.
Can you see it? I think there's a big rock there. That's why I didn't do that section.
Helping the guys suit up was one of my major functions since I wasn't getting in the water to dredge. And I really pitied the guys that were up there by themselves trying to get their suit on and off, trying to get their mask down, trying to get everything tied up, trying to get the hoses connected. So it really came in handy with having 2 or 3 of us up there at one time to help each other get in and out of the water and help support each other.
I mean, even to suiting up, it takes another person to help you, especially when it comes to getting your gloves on, getting your mask on, getting that weight belt on, get it all strapped up where you want it to. It's just something you don't want to do on your own. So if you ever going to do any dredging, you better have a capable partner, someone who can do that kind of stuff, you know. Now, if you're going to long arm, that's another story. You don't need to be all suited up. You just get your suit on. You know, all you get is up to your elbows or up to your shoulders wet, and that's, you know, that's a different kind of dredging. There's nothing wrong with it. But you start long arming, next thing you know, I want to get deeper. Next thing you know, you're donning a wetsuit, mask, air, and you're underwater all day. Oh yeah, we had a couple little fishes down here, not like we did up on top. Up on top, there were tons of fish up there. We had just some small ones down here. It's amazing how close they get to that nozzle. Curious little buggers. Never spotted any gold like we did up on top. I never picked any up, put it in my snuffer bottle or anything like that. I don't know if it's because it's different. It just was never that clear here, no matter what we did. Because of that nozzle, it clouded it right up.
Here's an early pan that we took when we were first starting right along the bank. You can see how fine a gold that is, but there was still gold right along the side of the bank. This is a pan of that honey hole Bob was telling you about when he buried the nozzle into that decomposing bedrock. This was the cleanup for that day, so you can see there's quite a lot of gold in there. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you in the next episode.
Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up.